Presented by chargebacks.com.
Weighing the risks of P2P payment fraud on Cash App. In the fast-paced mobile economy, peer-to-peer payment apps are surging in popularity over older, more laborious methods of sending and receiving money. Platforms like Cash App make it easy to exchange quick, informal payments, even for users who aren't customers of traditional banking institutions. The downside is that cyber criminals are flocking to these platforms too, exploiting their unique features to take advantage of users who are still learning the best ways to protect their finances over these new and convenient apps. What makes Cash App vulnerable to fraud, and how are scammers taking advantage of it? Peer-to-peer, P2P payment systems include apps like Square's Cash App, as well as Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal. Cash App has risen in popularity due to the fact that it's quick and easy to get started with, and it offers some interesting features, like the ability to trade stocks and cybercurrency, a weekly cash giveaway sweepstakes, and a free debit card that links directly to your Cash App account. For many users, the appeal of Cash App is that it's new, different, and doesn't put up many barriers to fighting off a quick payment. And that's exactly what makes it attractive to fraudsters too. While Cash App is not designed or marketed as an e-commerce solution, many independent merchants are finding themselves dealing with customers who want to use Cash App and similar services to place transactions. Anyone who plans on using Cash App should educate themselves about the risks and best safety practices first. How does Cash App work? To get started with Cash App, you just need to download the app, create an account, and link a payment method, a credit card, debit card, or bank account. While you do need to verify your identity by providing an image of your photo ID to use some of the features, such as Bitcoin trading, this is not required for the basic cash transfer functions. Other P2P platforms require verification before they can be used in any capacity. To send someone money over Cash App, you need to know their username. Once you choose a recipient, an amount, and hit pay, the money is transferred from either your balance of Cash App funds, if you have any, or your linked payment method. What kind of scams and frauds are on Cash App? Right now, Cash App has more than 30 million users. Any platform with that much activity is going to be a magnet for fraudsters. But Cash App has a few unique vulnerabilities that have been heavily targeted. Here are some of the primary Cash App scams that have been reported. 1. Customer service scams. Fraudsters create and publicize fake customer service phone numbers, sending them to victims via email or over social media. When the user calls in, the fraudster talks to them by giving up their account credentials. 2. Cash App Friday Sweepstakes. Contests are used as a promotional tool by Cash App, but fraudsters will contact victims to tell them that they have won the prize, but they need to provide their login information in order to claim it. 3. Cash App flipping. Scammers convince Cash App users that they can invest a small payment for a quick profit, but the scammer just takes the money and runs. 4. Stimulus check fraud. Users who are expecting stimulus checks from the government may be directed to fraudulent websites that promises to expedite the payment, but these sites just steal the user's login information. We estimate that these 4 scams account for around 60% of the consumer fraud happening on Cash App. But other common ploys, such as romance or even ticket scams, are prevalent as well. These scams are more common on Cash App than other P2P platforms for the following reasons. By a wide margin, the main thing that makes Cash App more vulnerable to fraud is the fact that you can use it without providing proof of your identity. Cash App enabled users to receive stimulus checks directly to their Cash App accounts, which made stimulus fraud claims much more plausible. Cash App markets itself heavily to younger demographics who have limited awareness about payment security. Cash App is growing faster than its competitors because it accepts a wider range of payment methods, such as ACH, credit and debit cards, and Bitcoin. Other platforms require an actual bank account. Cash App does not release any fraud analysis data, which is not surprising, as it is likely to be fairly high and would reflect negatively on the platform. Based on our experience working with thousands of e-commerce companies, we would expect to see fraud rates 3 to 4 times higher than average on any platform that involves cash or cash-equivalent commodity transfers without requiring user authentication or identity verification. typically around 0.25% to 0.4% for such businesses as opposed to 0.05% to 0.12%. Can users dispute Cash App transactions? Cash App transfers are not reversible, a fact that many of its users are not aware of. Most of the time, the best the user can do if they send a payment to the wrong recipient is use the request function to ask for a refund, which the recipient is not obligated to provide. Some recipients may be set up to offer a cancel option for recent payments, but this is not common. Users can't dispute charges or request chargebacks from Cash App. While Cash App does offer in-app customer support, they do not offer phone support. In theory, users can dispute the debit or credit card transactions that fund their Cash App activity, but this is unlikely to succeed except in cases of true fraud. Conclusion: while merchants are not advised to take Cash App payments from customers in lieu of traditional payments, the risk is primarily carried on the buyer's end. Chargebacks and disputes are simply not possible over Cash App as of yet. Cash App serves as an important function for many people, but its approach to authentication and identity verification makes it highly risky to use for large transactions or commercial applications. Users should be aware of the many scams that are common on Cash App and use it only to send money to individuals that they know and trust.
To learn more, visit chargebackgurus.com.